We are all over Liverpool's Champions League winning parade here on Sky Sports News today, here at St George's Hall, of course at Anfield, where the crowds are crowding the streets. Still time to get down there if you want to. It might be a bit of a squeeze though, and it all due to get underway in just a couple of minutes on Queen's Drive. If you're going to be going anywhere near there today, I wouldn't bother, particularly if you're a Blue. It's just not the time you want to be there. All over the Champions League parade from Liverpool. We're at the best vantage points at great expense. We have a helicopter. We're also on the team coach. Liverpool city centre is getting ready to welcome home their conquering heroes. Liverpool Football Club, European champions 2005. Rafa Benitez, Stevie Gerrard, Jamie Carragher and the boys will be on their way to a street near you if you live in Liverpool. We are all over it here on Sky Sports News. We're right along the parade route, we're on the bus and we're here in St George's Square. Well, what a performance it was from Liverpool last night, coming back from 3-0 down to draw 3-3 with AC Milan and then beat them on penalties. Well, it might have given us a fright at half-time, but former Liverpool great Alan Kennedy believes that Rafa Benitez did get it tactically right.
New heroes in the headlines, but for one former Liverpool legend, the team almost threw it away in Istanbul. Liverpool's lineup had looked aggressive on paper. In reality, it was timid. Milan outmanoeuvred them and raced into an early lead.
They were asleep, there's no doubt about it, they were asleep. They were caught cold by AC Milan. And then, you know, we thought, right, come on Liverpool, you've got to pick it up a little bit.
But they didn't, and the gamble of playing Kuhl up front looked reckless as he limped off early. Liverpool was struggling to find any sort of shape. The Italians were overrunning them and looked to have the match wrapped up by half-time. So with his team 3 down, Benitez reorganised, and the introduction of Haman proved a masterstroke.
When he came on, he seemed to galvanise the team, to tell them to let's get stuck in, as they say, the old-fashioned let's get stuck in, let's put ourselves about a little bit. And I think that's what happened, and I think the lads responded. You know, Steven Gerrard looked as though he was a little bit hungrier, and then Steven Gerrard can get in the box, and that's what we wanted him to do.
The result was 6 minutes of whirlwind football that made history. The final turned on its head. Liverpool were inspired as a seemingly impregnable Italian lead was blown apart. This is unreal! But the effort and energy required left Liverpool drained, and once again their manager responded to the changing situation in front of him. In extra time, he dropped Gerrard deep to fortify his flagging defence.
Steven Gerrard was tackling back like a fullback, but that's what you've got to have to your game. You know, Steven Gerrard did it on the right, you know, and John Arisa did it on the left-hand side. They had to work hard. They knew they were going to be put under pressure.
It all went to penalties in the end, of course, before Liverpool finally won the trophy for the 5th time.
I would say the second-half performance by the team and the manager was as good as you get. It was everything was right, everything was perfect.
So the Rafalution has delivered silverware already. A new era at Anfield has begun. Jim Cockin, Sky Sports.
So 3-0 down to the mighty AC Milan at half-time in the Champions League final. Liverpool come home with the trophy. How on earth did that happen?
45 minutes in, and Liverpool's dreams of a first European Cup triumph for 2 decades had seemingly turned to nightmares.
It had already started with unimaginable horror when Paolo Maldini, of all people, scored in the first minute, but then it just got worse and worse for the men in red. It's Milan 3, Liverpool 0 at half-time.
The fans who'd made the long journey across the continent and those watching back home were in despair.
I think it's absolutely rubbish the way they played the first half. I really don't think they can come back with a team like AC Milan.
It was almost embarrassment, like you'd taken all that time and all the money to go there and to all the rounds and to get to Turkey and to go out to that stadium in the middle of nowhere, and then for them to score so early and then score again and then score again. You just felt it was going to be embarrassing come the end of the day.
But some still believed.
There were men just crying their eyes out, and we came back upstairs. You'll never walk alone rang out round the ground, and and that was it. We do our bit, the players got to do their bit.
The belief came then. We were just, as soon as the players come out, we sang "You Never Walk Alone" to them, and it just lifted everybody.
Liverpool launched the greatest of European Cup final comebacks in the second half, and for the fans, agony was to make way for ecstasy. Tony Campbell, Sky Sports.
I tell you what, Dan and Georgie, if I hadn't been there and seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
Kelly, we know you are, but how many fans there today at St George's Hall are perhaps bunking off work?
Well, apparently 1 in 5 Scousers has taken a sickie from work today. Now, I'm sure many of them do have coughs and colds and aches and pains, but actually, I think the vast majority of them are standing behind me singing at the moment.
Kelly, just give us an idea of what it was like for you last night. You're at the stadium. It must have been really quite something special.
It really was, but first of all, Dan, the stadium itself isn't really conducive to a fantastic atmosphere. It's got 2 very open ends, as you'll have seen on the pictures, and the noise just seemed to lift right above them. And obviously, as the goals from AC Milan went in, the Liverpool end, where I was sitting, just went quieter and quieter until half-time, when the fans in the north stand, which is just behind the goal, started singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and they were singing "We're going to win 4-3," and suddenly the mood started to change amongst the fans. And when the players came out after half-time, I have no idea what Rafa Benitez said to them, by the way, and I don't know that I want to. I don't think it would be broadcastable. But when they came out, Steven Gerrard came over and was trying to gee the crowd up and trying to get them involved and let them know just exactly how important they were to Liverpool's success that day.
Kelly, have you, just out of interest, have you spoken to your dad yet?
I have spoken to him, yes. I was trying to call him after the game last night, but it was so difficult to get any kind of reception. The networks were absolutely crammed full. Nobody could text home, nobody could make any phone calls. But I spoke to him probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning Turkish time, at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning UK time. He was a little bit sleepy, but absolutely elated. He actually went home from the pub at half-time because he was so depressed and watched the rest of it at home. And then I think he might have wished he'd gone back to the pub later on.
Kelly,
he's going to be here a little bit later on, so we'll hear from him himself.
Kels, we're just seeing pictures now all across Liverpool City Centre. Just talk us through the route that the parade is going to take a little later on.
Well, they're starting at the corner of Queen's Drive and East Prescott Road. Then they come round Utting Avenue, if you know the area. They go round Anfield, past those incredible crowds that you've seen today. They come through Everton Valley, they're not particularly appropriately named Everton Valley, and then they end up here at St George's Hall, where the players are going to come out onto the balconies, and we think they might be making a few speeches, but this was all quite hastily arranged. We were talking to the mayor a little earlier on, and he was saying it was only really yesterday that it got underway.
Kelly, I want to know whether you feel like your dad a little bit, performing in front of thousands of Liverpool fans and having them cheer at you.
Yeah, not really quite the same thing. I'm not sure there's quite the same level of skill involved. I don't think I'd win a European Cup for protecting.
Is it all good-natured, Kelly? There's no Everton fans that have infiltrated the throngs there, have they?
Well, no, it is very good-natured. It is Liverpool fans who are here. There are a few Everton songs, a few Manchester songs going around, but in the most, it is, I mean, you can hear them for yourself. They are just absolutely buzzing. I mean, you can see the pictures, you can hear the sound. They've got flags, they've got scarves, they've got European Cups that they can hold up for themselves. By the way, they tend to call it the European Cup here rather than the Champions League trophy. It's a history thing. They've already helped 4 of them in their trophy cabinet, and they're getting to keep this one permanently because it's the 5th time that they've won it. You get to do that if you won it 5 times in a row or 3 times consecutively, as AC Milan have done. Now, we're just going to get the very latest from on the parade route with Peter Stevenson.
Well, Kelly, I can tell you that just at the moment it's busy here, very, very noisy. 10 or 15 deep in the central reservation area. Same alongside. Many people have been waiting here now for 4 or 5 hours. We keep seeing the helicopters, so that open top bus can't be too far away. people cracking open champagne and already swapping reminiscences about how they spent last night. Of course, 24 hours ago, we're just waiting for the game to start. Players were going through their paces rather nervily, and everybody was running what sort of game it was going to be. What an amazing 24 hours it's been since then. We await the return of the triumphant team. Not too long to go now.
Well, a full overview of Liverpool's Champions League winning parade here on Sky Sports News over the next couple of hours. We've got the best vantage points. We're on the team bus itself, and when the team arrive here at St George's Hall, we'll be there. Welcome back to Sky Sports News. Welcome back to Liverpool City Centre. Liverpool fans are getting ready to welcome home their all-conquering heroes. Liverpool are the European champions 2005. The parade was supposed to get underway at 6:30, but these things do have a habit of getting a little bit out of control. The players completely overexcited. This thing was only really organised yesterday. We're chatting to the Lord Mayor a little earlier on, and the official forms were only signed when Liverpool chairman David Moores arrived at the airport with the players a little bit earlier on. The parade route itself, well, it starts at Queen's Drive, the corner of Queen's Drive and East Prescott Road, comes down to Uttington Road, and then through Everton Valley, but just coming past Anfield, through Everton Valley, and then here to St George's Hall. These fans have got a long wait until their heroes arrive. They're not even underway yet, and once they do get underway, it's going to take them a good couple of hours to get here. The place is absolutely mobbed. Over 250,000 people turned up when Liverpool won the treble in 2001. And we're expecting even more than that today. It's been 21 years since they last brought back the European Cup to Liverpool. And it looks as though the players finally are going to give the fans in Liverpool a taste of what the European Cup looks like. They get to keep this one, remember. It gets to stay in the Anfield Trophy Room. We've got all the best vantage points along the route. We've got cameras everywhere. At great expense to Sky Sports News, we've hired a very flash helicopter, or Skycopter, as we like to call it. And of course, we will be live on Liverpool's open-top bus with the men who are Champions League winners, 3-0 down against AC Milan in one of the most dramatic finals of any competition in years. Liverpool were 3-0 down. They came back to draw 3-3. And they went through to win on penalties. But will they be able to defend their trophy next season? At the moment, to be honest, the fans aren't too bothered, but moves are underway to make sure Liverpool are there next season.
They brought the trophy home, but will Liverpool get the chance to keep hold of it? A decision will be made by UEFA's 15-man executive committee in 3 weeks' time on Liverpool's right to defend the European Cup. The lobbying has already begun.
We desperately want a sense of sporting fairness here. Liverpool are the European champions, and we believe as European champions they should get the opportunity to play in the Champions League next year.
What have you heard back from UEFA? What is their position at the moment?
Well, at the moment, we believe that there is an executive committee meeting in June, and we'd like to think that this particular issue will get serious consideration at that meeting, and that there isn't a decision made in haste before that.
We would love to defend it, and I think after a final like last night, I think the world would like us to defend it. You know, I think there'll be really a weight of expectation that says we should be given the opportunity, and I mean I think it's always appropriate for the champions of any competition to be given the opportunity to defend it. It'll be very odd not to.
The champion must defend the title for sure. You cannot go. I was thinking today about if you go to play the European Super Cup, and if you go to play the Intercontinental, I don't know the name for the future, and you are not playing the Champions League, it's not common sense.
The UEFA stance, though, remains the same.
Usually we don't change rules in the middle of a competition. I mean, I have no opinion about it, but our position is clear on that. The rule is the rule, and Liverpool will play in the UEFA Cup next year.
FA Chairman Jeff Thompson is a UEFA Vice President and will be able to raise the issue at next month's meeting. Brian Barwick has, though, urged UEFA to come up with an extraordinary solution. The European governing body has 3 weeks to find an answer to some increasingly loud calls. Andy Burton, Sky Sports.
So, should Liverpool be allowed into the Champions League next season? We've been asking you all day. The result is in. It is a resounding yes for Liverpool. 88% of you think that Liverpool should be able to defend the trophy that they've won in such dramatic fashion this time around. Just 12% of you think no, they should be satisfied with the UEFA Cup. Thanks very much for voting. Liverpool players, I'm sure, will be particularly grateful for your support. Now, those Liverpool players have a busy day ahead of them. It looks like they're just about getting ready to get the parade underway, starting off the corner of Queen's Drive and East Prescott Road. The Liverpool fans waiting to see their heroes, waiting to see the Champions League trophy, their 5th European Cup. There is a great history of captains lifting the European trophy. Graham Souness, Phil Thompson, and of course Emlyn Hughes. Steven Gerrard has joined their number. He will be there on the bus with the trophy, as will the rest of the players. Vladimir Spitzer, Xabi Alonso, the other goal scorers. Of course, the penalty takers, Jerzy Dudek, a big hero of the crowd here at St George's Hall with his wobbly leg a la Bruce Grobbelaar antics. The bus just moving along now over the bridge, over the motorway. Fans already getting close. The players are on a coach next to the open-top bus, and they will be getting off very shortly. You can just see them coming along, actually. The players making their way onto the open-top bus. Thought they'd keep them warm in the meantime, not putting them upstairs on the bus. They are very precious, very expensive commodities. They are now European Cup winners. They need a bit of pampering. So they're on the luxury coach, and then they come off to go on the open-top bus. Just keeping an eye out there. See if you can spot the all-important Champions League trophy. It will, of course, be making an appearance. We are live on Sky Sports News. We have reporter Vinny O'Connor live on the top of that bus. He'll be getting reaction from all the players. They look pretty fresh, actually, given they must have had a very late night in Istanbul last night. But what a night it was. A lot of these people here didn't make it. In fact, a lot of the people that are in Istanbul aren't back yet because of the difficulties in travelling to and from the city. A lot of them took holidays elsewhere in various cities nearby and then just nipped over to Istanbul for the final. A lot of the fans who were meant to be coming back today aren't back yet. There have been delays of up to 23 hours, we've been hearing. I was delayed myself for about 6 or 7 hours, if you're interested. But it's been absolutely incredible here at St George's Hall today. Thousands upon thousands of fans have turned round, and they are in good voice. The banner says it all. Campiones, the Italian for champion. Wonder if they pinched that from AC Milan, who at half-time yesterday must really have thought that they'd done more than enough to get their hands on yet another Champions League trophy. But it's gone to Liverpool. It's been 21 years in coming, but they finally won their 5th Champions League trophy. We'll be back with all the very latest from the Liverpool fans and from the Liverpool players as they start their parade around the city after the break. Hello and welcome back to Liverpool City Centre. Sky Sports News coming live here today. Stop waving to your mates, John. We'll come to you in just a second. This is John Thompson from the Liverpool Echo. We're talking about Liverpool's 5th Champions League or European Cup victory. John, there have been many Champions League victories and European Cup victories in Liverpool before. There's something special about this one.
Absolutely, it's an incredible atmosphere. It's been building really since the final penalty save from Jerzy Dudek last night, and this party is there's something different about it. I don't know quite what it is. Maybe it's because they were in the depths of despair. It was all going so horribly wrong, and then from somewhere it all went so blissfully right, and boy are they celebrating.
They seem to feel that there was a sense of destiny about these players who were just starting on their tour now. There was almost a sense of destiny that they were going to win it.
Well, I think so. It was hard to believe that at half-time, but then I believe someone started singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." A few more joined in, and then eventually every Liverpool supporter was singing it. Whether they were singing it in belief or hope or what, or desperation, I don't know, but they lifted the team. Stephen also lifted the team with that goal. And then, yeah, you did feel that Liverpool's destiny was in their own hands again, particularly after he scored that goal, then the second one. And, yeah, the miracle has happened.
What about that performance from Steven Gerrard? A real captain's performance. He scored the goal, he lifted the team, and then moved to right back.
Yeah, absolutely. What a heroic performance from Steven. Everything was in it, really. He got up, he scored the goal, he won the penalty. Really, the guy should have been sent off for holding him down. And then he was putting in some fantastic tackles at right back right at the end. Where he gets his energy from, heaven knows, but a terrific leader.
And Jamie Carragher, as always, with another heroic performance. He went down injured, we thought, towards the end of extra time, but picked himself up.
Well, he was injured, he was in pain, he was hurting everywhere, I think, from his calf to his groin to his hamstring. But Jamie is as brave as they come and as hard as they come, a heart as big as anyone, and he proved it there last night. There was no way Milan were going to get past him again.
Jerzy Dudek's had tough days this season. Last night wasn't one of them.
Well, no, I mean, he let a couple slip early on in the game, but boy, he emerged a hero from that. Some terrific action in the penalty shootout. I mean, Carragher had said to him, put them off, put them off. He did a Bruce Grobbelaar, and he looked like a lunatic, but it did the job, and he's a hero.
Well, they've all been doing impressions of Jerzy Dudek here today. The players get ready to come on to the coach, and they're going to be coming along a little bit later on. What are they going to make of this?
Well, I don't think they'll believe it, because it's so soon after last night. This is a dream, they're living a dream, and it will feel like a dream. And I just hope that they're able to take in the enormity of A, what's happened to them, and B, the enormity of this reception, because it is absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere here, I've never known anything like it.
Nobody does believe it, do they?
No, I mean, they're beginning to now. I think sort of almost 24 hours on. Yeah, it did happen. They've seen it. It's starting to sink in. Yeah, they're going to celebrate this like nothing before.
John, thanks very much for joining us. It is starting to sink in, and it's going to sink in even more when the fans get a glimpse of the players holding on to that Champions League trophy. We're going to have all the very latest from the parade here on Sky Sports News, and we're going to have the very latest from all the reporters who are at the best vantage points along the route. We've got vantage points at Queen's Drive. We're also at Anfield, where thousands of fans are gathering, as you would expect, and of course here at St George's Hall, where they're already making a noise, and frankly they're about 2 hours away from even seeing these players.
Well, these are the scenes at Queen's Drive. We're expecting the bus. We don't know when, to be honest with you. We keep seeing signs of helicopters in the air. Great anticipation here. Of course, when you're waiting for one bus, Kelly, three come along, and we had three, shall I call them, ordinary buses that came past a few minutes ago, and they went past at a very slow speed, but nobody wanted to see them, nobody cheered them. Of course, the extraordinary bus, the very special bus that everybody has waited for 5-6 hours to see, is wending its way slowly from South Liverpool. The road to Istanbul, back to the banks of the River Mersey, is lined with just a mass of red. T-shirts, fezzes, hats, banners, flags, posters. I can see one there saying Viva Benitez, and the singing has started on the banks of the Johnny Miller pub where we're based here, and really tremendous scenes, great scenes of anticipation, and after all the disappointment and then the elation of last night's game, absolutely phenomenal scenes now. People just ready to celebrate, ready to give the team a tremendous homecoming, and thankfully the weather's with us. The sun's gone in a little bit in this part of Liverpool, but I don't think people care anymore. They just want a sight of that trophy. They just want a sight of those players, and there are thousands and thousands of inflatable European Cups doing the rounds in Liverpool tonight. A lot of them no doubt will be let loose at some stage, and will join the players on cloud nine at some stage tonight, no doubt. But tremendous scenes here. Another bus going past there, but it's not the bus that we want. Judging the speed of the traffic coming from South Liverpool, it's coming at about 5, 6, 7 miles an hour, so it's going to be quite a crawl for that bus when the players do get going. Helicopters still in the distance. I can see three of them now, so we reckon it's quite a bit of time before we actually see that bus, but people don't care. They're in a very relaxed frame of mind now. The central reservation here in Queen's Drive has just disappeared. 10 deep, I would say, the people in the central reservation there. I can see people clinging now to the tops of the traffic lights, And of course the traffic lights just have to be on red tonight, don't they? No other colour tonight in Liverpool. Bright red those lights have to be. Tremendous scenes here. Thousands and thousands of people waiting. And it makes you wonder what these people do when they've finished here. I'm sure hundreds of them will perhaps decide to make every effort to get to, perhaps not to Anfield, but back into the city centre to catch up with the procession and the parade as it reaches its climax in the city centre. And that again is going to be a tremendous sight. Great numbers here of supporters, and we should just say that these numbers would have been swelled even more, of course, by those people still trying to get back. Might even be calls for a second parade, who knows? Goodness knows what that would mean in terms of numbers. But here we are, we've got a big transporter coming through, massive red and white check flag. He's getting a big cheer. A lot of them have been honking their horns as they come through. He's had to grind to a halt simply because of the weight of people standing by the roadside. I bet he's enjoying it. Never had such a welcome home for a truck driver before. But then it's eyes back south. Who's going to see that? Who's going to see that bus first? Kelly, we're waiting and waiting, but we don't mind. Now back to you.
Peter, thanks very much for that. Well, the next main stop on the parade is Anfield. Fraser Dainton is there.
Absolutely no room whatsoever here at Anfield. Thousands and thousands of red shirts as far as the eye can see. Let's take a look and show you the scenes behind me as everybody gives us away from Anfield. Just get a load of this. Every single vantage point has been taken, and right up the end of the road, all the way as far as the eye can possibly see. There are people sitting on railings, they're hanging out of windows, they're hanging off road signs, they're hanging off bus stops, they're hanging off traffic lights. And have you ever seen so many flags, so many scarves, so many team shirts? Club colours are absolutely everywhere. There's even a church building away to my right hand side. We can just see in the reflection of the windows of the Kop, and that has hundreds of people on it as well. I hope to goodness that doesn't give way later on. But everybody is desperate to see that bus on its way here, and the Champions League trophy being brought past Anfield to where they believe is its rightful home. They've had it 5 times now. The trophy itself, because they've won it those 5 times, will be staying here in the Liverpool Museum for everybody to see for many, many years to come. But my goodness, they've waited 21 years for this moment, and every single person here in a red shirt has much decided it is well worth the wait, I can tell you. But it's going to be a long, long time by the looks of things before that bus makes its way here. But as soon as it does, we will bring you the pictures live here on Sky Sports News.
Well, thanks very much for that. Here in St George's Hall, the fans are in fantastic voice, and we've got a few of the very tiniest of them to come along and talk to us. Let's start first of all on this. I'll come to you just a second. You want to come and stand over here, actually? What's your name?
Beatrice.
Beatrice. What do you think of today, Beatrice?
Pardon?
Not that great?
Yeah.
Quite difficult to impress, aren't you? Daniel's here as well. Daniel, did you stay up to watch the game last night?
Yeah.
You were around up late, that late?
Yeah.
And are you not supposed to be at school today?
Yeah.
And where's your teacher think you are?
Pardon?
Where does your teacher think you are?
At home.
Do you not care?
No.
Aidan, what about you? How excited are you today?
Very.
Very. What did you think last night? What did you think at half time?
I thought we were going to lose, but then second half we just came a big shooter.
Who's your favourite?
I don't know.
Any one of them. What about Jerzy Dudek last night saving those penalties?
Very good.
Very good, very good. Well, guys, I'll let you go and enjoy. I was about your age last time Liverpool won the European Cup, and I don't really remember it that well at all, but it was a very long time ago for me, 21 years ago. Well, from the manager of one Champions League winning team to another, Liverpool are in the open-top bus on their way to their parade round Liverpool town centre with the Champions League trophy, and Peter Stevenson is there.
Tremendous scenes here still, great excitement, great anticipation. We can see now a blue police vehicle there with his lights flashing, reaching the main traffic lights at this junction. That's got to be a sign that this bus isn't too far away. Helicopters flying overhead, and amazingly there are two inflatable European Cups up there, mixing it with the helicopters. What a tremendous sight. The sun's out as well. Absolutely perfect timing. This whole junction of red shirts and red flags now bathed in sunshine. Hooters, a real cacophony of sound going off as the police make every effort to clear away for this double-decker bus. Not going to be an easy task, because nobody wants to miss the first sight of this vehicle. Many have been here since, well, we got here about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and everybody's been here since then, and they're all now desperate for that first glimpse of the bus. It's what they've been waiting for, and I would imagine it's going to take 15-20 minutes for that bus to actually come across this junction, so it's going to be a real party atmosphere as that bus comes through, then of course making its way even closer to the city centre via, of course, the inevitable stop at Anfield. But still no sign of it, can't be far away.
Peter, we haven't really talked about this sense of disbelief among Liverpool supporters. I don't know if it's because they've been the underdogs all the way through this competition, or whether it's because they were 3-0 down at half-time last night. It seems to have taken a good night's sleep for it even to start to sink in.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it, when you think about it. If you sat somebody down and said, look, I want to make a Hollywood blockbuster movie, I want to make it about a game that started off with the favourites going 3-0 ahead at half-time, and then there was this fantastic comeback and it all ended in a penalty shootout, you'd say to people, don't be ridiculous, nobody would ever believe you. And I think it was the whole sense of drama, the whole sense of theatre of last night, added to the fact that Liverpool didn't have the best of starts in this competition, that really is just, as you say, added to the sense of disbelief. And I think the sight of the trophy coming down this inner ring road, together with all the players and the euphoria that goes with it, will probably convince an awful lot of people that yes, by heck, it's happened. Liverpool are European champions. Again, thanks very much indeed for that. A lovely blast from a euphoric fan there, and he's enjoying it. I got a real blast in the ear then, and I don't think it's anything compared to the level of sound we're going to get when we see that bus. But yeah, everybody here just cannot believe this is happening, but it's happening, and it's been an amazing 24 hours, hasn't it?
It's just been an incredible 24 hours. I mean, normally there would be at least 10,000 or so more fans here, but they're having such problems getting back from Istanbul.
Well, that's right. I mean, the travel arrangements will all go into the melting pot when everybody looks at whether that stadium was suitable, but in many ways, I don't think Liverpool fans care anymore. That stadium is going to go down in Anfield Folklore as the place where, you know, they won this 5th title, and it means they can keep the trophy. Such an awful lot goes into that 5th trophy scenario, and it's going to rewrite the history books, and everybody's going to talk about where were you on that day in May in 2005 when it happened. And I'm sure, yeah, a lot of fans can't be here for this homecoming, but it's an occasion that will be being taped and it'll be played back. And I've no doubt there'll be DVDs made of it, and everybody will be capturing on their mobile phones. And it's an occasion that everybody will be soaking up and reflecting on, probably, I don't know, for the next week, probably the next 10 days, probably right through the summer, probably until we start the next season again, when, all being well, we'll have not just one Merseyside team in this competition, but we'll have 2 in. And I think that's also important. You wonder what Everton fans are going to make of this, because they'll perhaps be sitting there nice and quiet and thinking, well, perhaps good luck, an English team won it, but this could be us next season as well. We could have 2 teams from this city in this great competition next season.
Well, that could certainly be a possibility. That's something that Liverpool have been working hard to sort out today, to try and lobby UEFA to make sure that they are able to defend their UEFA Champions League trophy next season. We'll have more reaction to that after the break. We'll also continue to have the very latest pictures. We've also got a reporter on the team bus as Liverpool have their Champions League winning parade around the streets of Liverpool. Welcome back to Sky Sports News. Welcome back to Liverpool City Centre. The fans are getting ready to welcome home their conquering heroes. Tommy Smith is with me. Tommy, I know you were excited. We spoke to you a little earlier on, but when you look at how the crowd is still so around here, the noise that they're making.
It's double. They're on top of the buildings over there. I mean, nowhere is safe. I mean, they're on top of the Empire Theatre. I mean, it only gets better.
What is it about this? They want you to give them a wave first. You've got to give them a wave. See,
it's all about football. That's what it's about ex-players. When we in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, when we were successful, you know, they were tremendous then. And you can't help but play for this lot. I mean, they're wonderful.
But although this may not have been the best team that's won a European Cup for Liverpool, this is one of the best reactions that I think of.
Well, yes. I mean, we've been starved of European football, you know, winning the thing for about 20 years. So basically, if you win anything in Liverpool, as you know yourself, this is what you get. And it comes with the, you know, whether it's good, bad or ugly, but it comes with what football's all about.
Well, the players are on the coach at the moment. What is it like?
Well, it's like a fairy tale. You know, you've won something. You don't really, it doesn't really sink in to say we've actually won or I've won the European Cup. The team's won the European Cup. And you're on the bus and you see thousands of people and you're thinking, you know, this is unreal. We only get 45,000. And when I played, we got 50,000. You only get 50,000. There's 750,000 people. Where have they all come from? And you know, you start asking yourself questions, and then, and years on, people remind me of 1977 when we won it, and different things like that. So this is a wonderful night, and I've got memories for this now, which is absolutely wonderful. You know, I keep saying wonderful.
You've still got a real attachment to the club. Is that something that is special to Liverpool? A lot of clubs do have it, but do you think there's something unique about Liverpool?
Well, especially when you win things. You know, I joined the club as a 15-year-old ground staff lad, and I was there till 1978. So I was there 18 years. So you've got. It's not a case of falling in love. It's a case of I've been there, I've done it, I've got the T-shirt, but I love it. You know, it can't get any better. I mean, I got other offers from other clubs to go to, but I wanted to go to Liverpool because I was a Liverpudlian. My dad was as well. So when I got there and we started winning stuff, and it's never stopped since, really. You know, and being a part of Liverpool, whether you've been there and left and come back, doesn't really make any difference.
Well, that's something that all these players who are on the coach at the moment have got to look forward to.
They in 20 years' time, when you know they're going to have a reunion, like the former players at the present moment. I mean, it's 1965. It's exactly 40 years since we won the FA Cup, and they organised functions, and all the lads show up, Big Yeatsy and St John and Big Roger Hunt and all that, and they don't look any different to me. But we still have a good laugh. We have a good time. Now, in 20 years' time, when they have a reunion, you'll be able to remember this. I mean, you might have to talk Spanish or something like that, but you know, but at the same time, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. You know.
They could talk Spanish, Japanese, double Dutch. The fans wouldn't care. They're lining up.
No, not at all. As long as you win something, I mean, best team come out second half, give 150%, come away with a win. That's all we want. We don't really want anything else, and this crowd appreciates it. You know, I mean, coming back from 3-0 down. That's like, I'm not very religious myself, but it's like, you know, Jesus Christ. Coming alive again, you know what I mean? I mean, imagine if we'd lost another 3 in the second half and got beat 6-0. We'd have gone down the drain. But we didn't, we came back, and this is what it's all about. And this is why it come back, because the players appreciate what's happening here. And I just wondered and wondered. How on earth could I play for the football team with all these fans? You know, absolutely wonderful.
Tommy, thanks very much. That's fantastic stuff. The players of this generation are getting on the coach. They are on the coach. They're getting their parade underway. They are taking the Champions League trophy to the fans. Peter Stevenson is there.